someone to see my flaws. God, even just the word just makes me feel kind of anxious inside, you know? They're the things that we just wish weren't there. We like try to hide. We put so much effort into concealing them. It's like tiring, you know? It's like, yeah, none of us are that important that really it matters, but you know, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like when you sit out in the moonlight and you look up at the stars and you realize you're so small, but you know, we live every day and we want to live well and be happy enough. So flaws, right? I've been thinking about flaws. Like I've always kind of known my flaws and like wanted to wish them away. But I don't know, like what I've been learning lately, just by, I don't know, being self-indulgent and thinking about myself too much, is that we never talk about our flaws in a, well, we very rarely talk about our flaws in a positive light, right? But they're a huge part of who we are. So if we ignore them or we hide them or we put all this effort into concealing them, there's this whole part of us that's like not living, not seeing the light of day, you know? And then all the energy that we spend worrying about them. Anyway, so I've got some flaws, as we do, all of us. I've got some pretty big ones. I'm totally irrational sometimes, you know? Bloody crazy lady over here. Irrational I am. I just spoke in Yoda. Irrational I am. Anyway, irrational I am. You know, I'm wild-ish. I'm very impatient. I'm so impatient. Like, it's quite comically impatient too. Like, if I have like an idea of what I need to be doing, or something I need to achieve, or something I want to do, or what's an example? Oh, like the other day I picked up this beautiful cabinet on Facebook Marketplace for free. It's beautiful. It's like 100 years old, and it's from a local church. It was their candle cabinet for like 100 years. Anyway, so I picked this cabinet up, and like it's totally divine. It's super dirty and gorgeous, and I love it. But like it was in my car, and when I got home, I realized that the lift is not working. But I was like, I can't leave it in my car. Like I need to have it in my house now. Like it's so ridiculous. Anyway, so I parked on like the sidewalk, which is totally illegal, and proceeded to hurl this huge, like, well, not huge, not huge, just, but it's heavy because it's old and it's not IKEA, you know, so it's heavy. It's into my house, through all the doors with the key buzzer thing, and like just being mental because I needed to have it in my house. So like you have to laugh at these little parts of you. Like it's so funny how funny I am. I'm talking Yoda again. Anyway, so I'm impatient, right? Yeah, I'm impatient. I'm pretty reckless too. Like I'll do stuff without thinking about it. Like I'll do like I don't know. a lot of things in my life. Like even when I had children, like I had 3 kids under 3, right? And like I didn't really think about that. I didn't really think that through. I was just like, yeah, I want some babies. Let's have babies. Let's have 3 babies. Like, it didn't matter. So anyway, I ended up with 3 children, you know, all close in age, and you know, I mean, you know, like a lovely end to that Flaw story would be like, and they all get along beautifully, which they don't. But you know, I didn't really think about it. I just did it. You know, that's mental. That's mental. Emma, that's mental. You're a mental case. Anywho, so what did I say? What are my flaws? I said I was wild. I was impatient, reckless. Yeah, totally reckless. I mean, there are other examples of recklessness. Is probably are not appropriate to share on YouTube, but you know, there's recklessness. It's a common thing in my life, recklessness, right? And I don't know, there's this other part of me that's kind of funny. I'm just really open. Like I'm really open to stuff that like most people would think is like very taboo or like very odd or very like unacceptable in society. Probably can't really mention those things, but that's fine. We're just talking about flaws, so don't go into detail. I mean, you can think about your own flaws. They're obviously going to be different to mine, and maybe you don't want to hear about mine. Anyway, the moral of the story is that flaws are not inherently negative. They're just a part of you that actually make you do things in life that just are uniquely yours. So love them, you know, love them. Love that little crazy person inside you, or whatever it is that you think is your flaw, what you've decided your flaw is. I mean, talking about wildness, like I've always had this untamed part of me that wants to explore like the unknown and take chances, and it's not necessarily a negative. Obviously it can manifest negatively, but I think the more that we embrace these parts of ourselves, the less likely they are to kind of rise up in a negative way. Like that's a very kind of like, oh, you know, I don't know, motivational speaker type sentence, but it is true though. Like when you're hiding all this stuff and you're worried about it and you think you need to be different, and those are actually real living parts of you. So they're going to need to see the light of day. They're alive, you know? So if you like wanting to cover them all up and conceal them, they're gonna come out somehow. They need to. They're a part of you. They're life-giving. They give you life. They make you feel alive. So let's think of an analogy, you know, like, I can't think of an analogy now. But yeah, like I guess what I'm trying to say is that the more that we can see our flaws as parts of us and not inherently negative, the more that we can give them a bit of light of day, the less destructive they're going to be. I hope that makes sense. I really do. Anyway, I'm just going to continue painting because I'm obsessed with it. That's another one. I get very obsessive about stuff, you know, like, oh my goodness, painting. Suddenly painting. I need to paint all the time to escape reality. Oh, that's another topic for another day. Escapism. Not necessarily negative. I know that sounds kind of scary, but it's not. I mean, we do escape. We read books to escape. We watch movies to escape. Not necessarily negative. Hey? Let's stop shaming ourselves for everything that we do. Alright, kids. I'm going. Adios.